If you are struggling with getting your painting to look realistic, then graphite practice is here for you to help. An outline drawing is done, which is available for download, removing the excess amount of graphite off the paper. And I will first start with the center part of this rose. It is more detailed and maybe a bit more advanced for someone. I hear a lot that a lot of artists are struggling with the center parts of the subject, so here I will only concentrate on the center part. And now I'm with the pencil F toning the whole centerpiece. I need tone for that. Even those very light areas, if you look at the reference, still are not as white as paper. But we need an overall tone to start toning for more darker contrast. Taking pencil 2B. It's very sharp. Your pencils also need to be sharp and precise with a thin tip to work more precise, especially with those little center inner petals which are very inside and deep, and they're very small, so you need a very sharp pencil here. And that is also one of the darkest areas of this rose, and we need to get it really dark. I'm not making edge lines very dark. I'm really working on the petal toning, not separating petals with dark edge line. I'm separating petals with shadow areas, and that is important to understand. We are not separating subject or places like petals, leaves with dark edge line. We are separating with tonal values. The more closer to the overlapping petal, the darker it is. The further it goes, the lightest it becomes. So we are only separating with tonal values. And that is what creates subject more realistic on a flat surface. We are not exaggerating some edge lines or some marks. It is all about the tonal value, from darkest, very dark, to the lightest, very light, almost like paper. The shiny areas mostly are white as paper. I have in my other hand a 4B pencil, which is quite softer and darker. And if I need to make greater contrast somewhere, of course looking at the reference, comparing, I just take that 4B pencil and make some marking which is really dark. This centerpiece, where those petals go very deep inside, there is a lot of darkness, and with darkness we can create the illusion that something goes really inside and covered. Still working with a little pencil strokes, lines, toning to create more transitions from different tonal values. And the same we are doing when we are painting with the watercolors. With brush, we are achieving different tones, different tonal values. And with pencil it is much easier. We only need to think about lights and darks. We don't need to think about the right color, or which color we should add, or is it maybe too much, is it maybe too dark. Here it is much easier to learn how to create these tonal values, how to create a realistic subject on a flat surface. It is very important time to time practice with graphite. It will definitely help your painting. Continuing on the center part, taking 4B and making greater contrast on the cast shadow of the left petal. Toning. It's also here about layering. I am layering graphite, layer after layer, the same as with watercolors. I'm now going straight with very dark. I could take, I don't know, 6B, 8B soft pencil and put some really dark. The same as with watercolors, as I'm telling all the time. If you go straight with very dark, you will create flat looking subject. And the same is with the graphite. That's why it's very important to practice graphite, because there are so many similarities in technique, approach, and the result. Here I'm putting light shadow, darker shadow on the petal which is surrounding centerpiece, so I can feel the contrast. Do I need to make it darker center petals, or they are already the right tonal value? I need this contrast in surrounding area as well. Just a little notions in the beginning. Later we will work on the surrounding outer petals, but for now just the center part. I'm finishing this tutorial. I think that now the rose looks quite realistic, but compared to the reference is still much darker. I will work a little bit longer on this rose, and in the pictures you will see that my finished rose looks a bit more darker. It's just the same, the technique is the same. I will go over with another light layer of graphite using 2B, 4B, and moving till I'm satisfied with the darkness, with the overall look. But for now, this rose looks finished, very realistic. Everything is separated. Each petal looks individually realistic, but all together we have a overall tonal value, everything is correct, lights and darks. So it's just a matter of your willingness to work more. You can stop here. Everything looks good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. See you in my next tutorials. Bye bye.